Imagine this. It's early morning, 1950. You're walking down a street in Quincy, Massachusetts. The air is cold. The sun is barely up. But something stops you. A smell. Fresh coffee. Warm fried dough. Sugar. You follow it to a small, simple shop on the corner. Inside, a man is moving fast behind the counter. No fancy menu, no long list of options. Just coffee or donuts. The line is out the door. Construction workers, bus drivers, nurses coming off the night shift. Everyone orders the same thing. Coffee, donut, gone. The man behind the counter watches this happen again and again, all morning long. And something clicks in his mind. People don't want complicated. They want this. Fast, hot, and good. What if I built an entire business around just this? One observation, two simple foods. And that thought right there, in that tiny shop, would eventually reach millions of people around the world. Believe it or not, that little corner shop became Dunkin Donuts. Welcome to Believe It or Not, the show where weird is real and the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Bryan, and today's story is about how one man's simple observation turned a small donut shop into a global empire. And why donuts have holes in the first place? The answer is stranger than you think. The man behind the counter was William Rosenberg. Before he opened his shop, he had a job delivering food to factory workers and construction crews across the city. Every single day, he watched what people actually chose to eat and drink. And the pattern was impossible to miss. Coffee and donuts. Donuts and coffee. Coffee and donuts. Not sandwiches, not soup, not anything fancy. Just those two things. Hot, fast, and affordable. So, in 1950, he opened a small shop. He called it Open Kettle. The idea was almost laughably simple. Serve fresh coffee and donuts. Quickly, and at a price working people could afford. It took off immediately. 2 years later, he renamed it. You might ask yourself, why? Well, he noticed customers were doing something specific. Dipping their donuts into their coffee cups before taking a bite. Dunking them. So, he called it what it was. Dunkin Donuts. Now, here's where the story gets really weird. Why did donuts have holes in the middle anyway? They didn't always. Early donuts were just balls of dough dropped in hot oil. And there was a problem. The outside would turn golden brown and crispy, but the inside, raw, gooey, basically bread soup. Cooks tried everything. Longer frying times, smaller balls, but nothing worked perfectly. Then, according to one of the most famous food legends in American history, a sea captain named Hanson Gregory solved it. Sometime in the 1840s, he supposedly took a fork and punched a hole right through the center of the dough. Suddenly, the heat could reach the middle. Everything cooked evenly. Was Captain Gregory really the inventor? Historians still debate it. But here's what's not debated. The hole worked. Donuts with holes cooked faster, tasted better, and were easier to handle. And the little circles of dough that got punched out? They became donut holes, a snack born entirely from a problem that needed solving. By the time Dunkin Donuts came around, both had become American icons. And you might know those little donut holes as something else. Munchkins. Rosenberg didn't just want one successful shop. He wanted to share the idea. He pioneered a system called franchising, where other people could pay to open their own Dunkin' Donuts, using his brand, his recipes, and his methods. It was a rocket ship. Stores opened across Massachusetts, then across the country, then around the world. Today, there are thousands of Dunkin' locations on every continent, serving millions of customers every single day. There's even one on the corner in my little town in South Korea. All of this traces back to one man watching factory workers grab coffee on their way through the door. Here's what I keep coming back to in this story. William Rosenberg didn't invent coffee. He didn't invent donuts. He didn't create some revolutionary new technology. He just paid attention. He watched ordinary people doing ordinary things. And he saw something everyone else had walked right past. That's actually one of the rarest skills in the world. Not imagination, not genius, but observation. The ability to look at something familiar and see it differently. The next great idea probably isn't hiding in a laboratory or a boardroom. It might be hiding in something you walk past every single morning. Now, here are a few believe it or not facts I found while researching the podcast. Believe it or not, the original name of Dunkin' Donuts was Open Kettle. But Rosenberg changed it after realizing nobody was going to build a lifelong loyalty to a shop that sounded like a soup pot. Believe it or not, early donuts had no holes and were so undercooked in the middle that bakers sometimes stuffed the raw center with nuts or fruit just to hide the problem. The hole didn't just improve donuts, it exposed how bad they used to be. Believe it or not, the sea captain credited with inventing the donut hole, Hanson Gregory, has an actual memorial plaque in his hometown of Rockport, Maine. There's a town in America that erected a monument to a man who poked a hole in a donut. Believe it or not, Dunkin' quietly dropped the word donuts from its official name in 2019. The company is now just called Dunkin'. After 70 years of being named after a pastry, they decided the donut wasn't the point anymore. And finally, believe it or not, Americans eat approximately 10 billion donuts per year. That's about 30 donuts for every single person in the country, including babies. Believe it or not. Now here's our big question. What's something ordinary that you walk past every day? Something so familiar to you, you don't even really see it anymore. Because William Rosenberg looked at a cup of coffee and a donut, two things that had existed for centuries, and he saw an empire. It shows us that the best ideas aren't always the most complicated ones. Sometimes they're hiding in the most obvious places, right in front of you. Now, as a final reminder, if you're enjoying Believe It or Not, follow or subscribe wherever you listen. And share this episode with someone who loves coffee, loves donuts, or loves both. Because sometimes the most amazing stories start with the simplest ingredients. Next time on Believe It or Not, have you ever taken a big bite of ice cream and suddenly felt a sharp, stabbing pain shoot through your head, that strange frozen feeling has a name: brain freeze. But what is actually happening inside your body when it hits? Why does something cold in your mouth make your head hurt? And why does it disappear almost as fast as it arrives? The science behind brain freeze is stranger and weirder than you'd ever expect. You won't want to miss it. Before we go, here's a believe it or not joke for you. Why did the donut go to the dentist? Because it needed a filling. Until next time, keep wondering, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the truth is weirder than fiction.